Cole, what's on your mind?
Okay. So last week, I was bold enough to say, let's go ahead and have a way too early college football playoff projection. I put my neck out on the line and said that I believe in these 12 teams will do enough to make the dance, to then play against each other and put themselves in a position to win a national title. And naturally, as somebody who believes that Penn State this year, despite having a coach that seems to always find a way to fumble the bag at the 1 yard line, despite having a quarterback that I have significant questions on, the rest of the roster is so well put together that I believe that right now they are the favorites in the Big Ten. And because they are the favorites in the Big Ten, and because I think the SEC has a little bit more trajectory and I would say good balance at the top, the number one seed is Penn State. And every single day for the last week, I have gotten comments, replies, DMs, threats even in my inbox on Twitter. You A, don't know ball, and B, can't continue to believe that Penn State is going to get the job done. Penn State is going to lose to Notre Dame. Penn State is going to lose to Georgia. Penn State is going to lose to Ohio State. They're not going to get it done, you moron, you nitwit. So here is my proposition to you. If you would like to continue to come into my comment section at Mr. Cole Thompson on Twitter, I am very much available to listen to all of your nonsensical crap. Give me a reason why, other than the following. 1, it's James Franklin. 2, it's Penn State. And 3, name the last time they've done it. Because of college football is meant to have records broken. College football is meant to have upsets occur. College football at its finest is not seeing the same team and the same results happen every single Saturday. It's why James Franklin went out and decided to hire a defensive coordinator that beat him to oblivion last year and won a national title. It's why they spent money in the transfer portal. It's why they spent money on retaining talent inside the locker room, like a Drew Aller, like a Katron Allen, like a Nick Singleton. That is why. So enough with the crap of it's Penn State. When are they going to get the job done? It's Penn State. It's now or never for James Franklin because of literally when else is it going to be? So give me something other than just it's Penn State. My God.
Tom, as a resident Penn State guy, I feel like we've got to hear a follow-up from you on this.
Listen, I kind of had an inkling this is where this was going, so I decided to kind of step back for a little bit here. I am a lifelong Penn State fan. I got my degree from Penn State, so did my mom, so did my older brother. I cover the team now for the last 4 years for the Believe Network, so I am super biased. I hear arguments for why Penn State should not be the preseason number one. However, it's pretty hard to go against them. The only other teams that I think that would be credibly ahead of them, I'd hear an argument for Texas. I'd hear an argument for Clemson. I'd hear an argument for Ohio State, but it's such a big question of what quarterback's going to be and defense. So all those reasons that Cole just stated, listen, if you're going to be lazy and just say, well, it's because Penn State hasn't done it historically, then how many people were guessing TCU would be in a national title game a handful of years ago? Like, what are we talking about? This is the beauty of college football, to your point. And Penn State, on paper, has every reason to credibly contend for the national championship in 2025. Crimea River.
Arizona State went 3-9 and then made the college football playoff as the Big 12 champion, went to double overtime against Texas, and still has a roster of 95% returning production. Yet somehow, more people find that hard to believe than Texas A&M consistently going 8-4 every single year in the SEC. That is where we are with college football. So spare me the narrative that, because of its Penn State, they're going to find a way to lose. Ohio State lost a ton, including coordinators. I don't really like the hires that they made at either coordinator position, though Brian Hartline, I think, could prove me wrong. Oregon has major questions at the quarterback position, and everyone else seems to be on the same pathway that Penn State, right now, going into 2025, is better than Oregon and Ohio State and Indiana and Illinois and every other topsy-turvy Big Ten team on paper. So please, I beg you, give me a reason. I will listen to your reason. I will listen to your factoids. I will listen to whatever synopsis you come up with when it's not A, it's James Franklin, and B, it's Penn State. I can't do it anymore. I'm just going to block you. I'm just going to throw you in my trash bin. I'm just going to pretend like you didn't message me because of it's such a bland, blah narrative. And all you're doing is you're saying exactly what everyone else is saying. Dare I be bold enough to go ahead and say that Penn State could play for a national title? Dare I be willing to stick my neck out on the line when all you want to do is follow the little crowd because if you want to be just part of the louder resistance and not part of the small minority.
Yeah, and what's interesting to me is you're giving them number one. You're not predicting that they are the national champions at the end of the year, right? Like I didn't.
No.
I mean, you know, in the NBA, and I know this is not an NBA show, but in the NBA, didn't Cleveland and Oklahoma City just kind of come out of nowhere to both take number one seeds? Like you're telling me like this isn't possible in sports for Penn State to be the number one team? Like now. Did Cleveland crash out? Does it look like Oklahoma City's in trouble? Sure. But I do think that just being the number one seed is maybe people just can't read. Maybe that's what maybe they think you're projecting a national championship, which maybe you'll go that far as well. But, anyway, maybe
I have them losing to Texas because it still is James Franklin at the 1 yard line. Like,
right. That was the thing
difference.
That was the thing that, like, I did see your projection for the playoff, and you had Texas beating Penn State for the national championship. So there was part of me as a fan that I was like, "Oh, great, we make the national title game, but we still lose." And I'm like, I would be heartbroken, but yeah, wouldn't that be very on brand with Penn State?
Again, it could be on brand with it just having a few more ingredients added into the recipe.
I told Cole this, but Cole also had UNLV in the playoff, and man, would that make my Seminole heart happy to see Dan Mullen in the playoff before Florida gets there. Just if there's one thing I want, it's to not win 2 games this year. But if there's a second thing that I want, it is UNLV to go to the playoff. Like now that I hadn't even really thought about that because. Sorry to the group of 5 folks that may watch, but like, you kind of put that out of your mind. You don't think about that as much. That is just something that would do my heart so much good. So the pettiness lives on. All right.